Hey guys, BearsFan09 here with Pokemon Black and White RNG abuse video for bred Pokemon, including for shinies. We're going after a shiny Sassy Ferrothorn with Spikes and Leech Seed. Requirements first. In order to have full control over inheritance, you must use the standard abuse method outlined in my previous video for Legends and Wild Pokemon. While you can have limited IV control with the Seagear, the degree of manipulation for inheritance, ability, and nature makes the method unfeasible. This also means you'll need your DS parameters as described in my previous video. We also need a Chatot with the recorded chatter. Good parents are necessary as well. Preferably, you have a flawless Ditto. You should also have one of your parents be the desired nature of the target and make it hold an Everstone. In my case, I have a flawless Sassy Ditto for this purpose. With these parents, you should have them lay an egg beforehand, but don't take it from the daycare man yet. Make sure you're saved directly in front of him as well. If you're going for shiny Pokemon, you need to know your ID and SID, which regrettably can only be obtained by some sort of hacking device like an Action Replay or PokeSave or PokeGen, whatever you use. Once again, no use of an Action Replay, DSi, or 3DS during this process, or anything else that can upset standard abuse. For reference, see my other standard abuse video for Legends of Wild Pokemon as far as guidelines of what you can and can't bring. As you might expect, we first start out by hunting a target to abuse for. Input the criteria for your target. I've done this as an example, but I will not use it as I'm going for a shiny Ferroseed. To maximize your options, feel free to leave 2 essential IVs blank, as you can fill those in using parent inheritance later. You may need to increase the number of key presses under the parameter setup tab if you are presented with no options. Also, set the max and min frame to 8. Encounter type should be wild Pokemon, and the encounter slot is irrelevant for this. Any nature ability stuff can be left blank as well. If you're going for a shiny like me, go to the shiny egg tab. Set all criteria like I've done, paying attention to checkboxes like Ditto parent if you're using one. For mother or father IVs, it's fairly self-explanatory. Ditto assumes the opposite gender of the other parent. I have a male Ferroseed, so therefore Ditto is the female. For max frame, go as high as you think you could salivate flipping through Chatot summary minus 50. I picked 100 arbitrarily, so 100 minus 50 is 50, so I had to do no more than about 50 flips. Now I have a usable result. If you didn't go the shiny route, you should also have a similar result, although without a specified PID frame like I do. This says on PID frame 81 for this particular seed, we'll have a shiny Sassy Ferroseed on this seed. Copy the full seed into the main window after changing the method to breeding BW or its international equivalent if you have parents originating from 2 different language games. Check the Ditto parent box, but none of the other boxes unless you need a Dream World ability from a parent. Now, since I made the last standard abuse video, a Mega Donut found a way to calculate the starting PID frame with 90% certainty. Click this and your starting frame will change. A little math here. My desired PID frame is 81, and this starts at 44. 81 minus 44 is 37, so we need to view Chatot's summary 37 times with the recorded chatter. Now, you should be familiar with hitting a standard seed from previous experience, so I'll meet with you on camera to get this Ferroseed. One thing I forgot to mention was that if you went the non-shiny route, instead of having a fixed target like I do, you can pick any PID frame as long as it has your desired nature and ability combination. Then you just use that as your target, just like as I did with my shiny frame. Okay, so here we are. Now the target time for this seed is May 3rd, 2010. Now I kind of made a mistake earlier when typing in year into the time finder, but no big deal. You're just going to have something that existed before Black and White even released in the States, but no one's going to really hassle you about that. And this is supposed to be at 11:38:07 military time. And it takes me a second for the game to seed after I load, so I had to hit A at 11:38:06, but I can't feasibly exit this and load the game in like 6 seconds, so I'm going to set it a minute before to 11:37, wait for the clock to turn to 38 and press A at 11:38:06, and in order to save video time, I'll cut some of this out. Okay, so we're closing in at pretty close to about 10 seconds now. So here, just hit the minute mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's no key presses, so I don't need to hold anything. Now, there's a little trick. As soon as the game starts, you're gonna need to hit X to pause the game and go to your Pokemon, because NPCs can advance your PID, which makes this like impossible. So, quickly, okay. And I would bet I was too slow on that one. Okay, so I got my Chatot and my Amoonguss here. Now, if I remember correctly, hang on, let me look up how many I had to do. I have this written down. Hang on, I'll cut back once I know. Okay, I'm back. So I had to do 37 Chatot summary viewings, and what I like to do is start on a Pokemon next to it, but not necessarily Chatot. Now make sure your Chatot has a recorded chatter. Mine does. I think mine says like hello or penis or something immature. So, see. That's 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. You don't actually have to listen to the cry, just make the game kind of load it and that'll count as an advancement. So I've done 3, I gotta do 34 more, I'll do those off screen, excuse me. Okay, so I finished doing my Chatot flips, and now I have to get out of the screen and get the egg from the daycare man as fast as possible before an NPC moves and screws up my PID advancement and basically destroys my shiny and replaces it with something else. Because of this, there's a good chance you're probably going to try a few times with the breeding method, but because it's standard abuse, that's really not too difficult. Combine that with the fact that most people's timer zero value can fluctuate by like 1 or more if you're somehow doing this on a flashcard. Sometimes you're gonna be trying a few times, but a little discrimination never hurt anyone. So gotta press B and then A really fast. So okay. And sometimes even when you're pressing A as fast as you can, you're just not gonna get it. Okay, so I've got to hatch this thing, and I'll get back to you guys when it starts hatching. Okay, so it hatched, and it's bold, which isn't really ideal for a Ferroseed. And as I don't have my action replay, and I don't really have an easy way of checking IVs other than rare canning the crap out of this thing. I don't really feel like doing that. Okay. Now, I see it's bold, and I'm gonna look at the main window of RNG Reporter with the breeding method and everything filled out, and scroll down to roughly where our target is, which is frame 81 here. Now I got a bold one, and bold isn't really anywhere nearby Sassy. So what this tells me is that probably I didn't hit my standard seed, which could happen. I mean, if I missed the timer zero value, that could happen, right? I'm gonna retry again off screen. If I get the shiny, I'll come back. Just a quick note. Let's say you do hit your seed and you consistently hit, let's say hypothetically 83 here. If you keep hitting 83, logically you need to hit 81. So you just do 2 less Chatot chats, and before you know it, you're on the right path. This is because sometimes the calculate initial starting PID frame, sometimes it isn't correct. I mean, but it's correct most of the time, and that should be good enough. Yeah, so I will get back to you guys once I have a shiny Ferroseed. Okay, so I got my shiny Sassy Ferroseed now, even though it doesn't really look very shiny, but it's got that shiny star, so it has to be. Okay, now this was actually a pretty good example of what could go wrong when you're breeding that's kind of beyond your control. I kept hitting PID frame 84 right here when my target was 81. So you have to do a little bit of thinking, like if 37 got you to 81 but ended up getting you to 84, you need to subtract 3, which should bring you back here. So I did 34 Chatot summary views, and before you know it, I had my shiny Ferroseed. A couple of times along the way I also hit a bad timer 0 value, which gave me the wrong standard seed, which puts you off completely. Yeah, so anyways, that's it. That's breeding for Pokemon Black and White. That's shininess, and you should be good to go. And yeah, see you guys later.